Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video from this year's Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now, unlike previous videos from this year's event, I don't really have much of a plan today, so I think I'm going to have a little bit of an explore, have a slight little chill out from the other activities that have been going on, and kind of have a look around some of the stands, check out some of the new cars that have been revealed, bits and bobs, and kind of see what's around really, because this place is absolutely huge. You guys that are here at this event this year will know exactly what I'm about. So yeah, let's have a little wander around and see what we get up to. Right, I tell you what, this place this year is massive. I swear every single year I come here it gets bigger and bigger. And with this year especially, things are all over the place. So the likes of the Michelin Supercar paddock, that is in a completely different place now. And the neighbouring First Glance paddock is now on the other side of the track, which is where I am now. You might be able to spot it behind me here. I always like looking around this, whether it's with my camera in my hand or not, because I mean, it's always cool to see some of the new cars really that are being released, and this year is certainly no exception because, I mean, there's quite a lot there, so let's have a look. So here we are in the new and improved First Glance paddock. Now we've got a bit of everything really. We've got the new KM, we've got some Morgans, Lotus, we've got this Shelby GT500. I was just reading up on this thing. It's supercharged V8, 760 brake horsepower, and it's actually running at the moment, so we can that's supercharger wise. Right, moving on down here, we have the Lotus Evora GT4. I love this livery. We have a British racing green with the yellow stripe. Got a little towing hook on the front. That's when you know it's racecraft. I love these little canals on the side as well. That looks proper. Morgan +6. The thing I find with Morgan is even though this is a brand new car, they still stick to their roots and their kind of vintage styling, which is nice. It's very, I don't know, it's very 60s, a very 50s and 60s, where you have that sweeping angle down there, but obviously brand new car, updated interior, and so on and so forth. Now, next to that, we have the new 2019 Porsche Cayenne, which is finished in a stunning colour, actually. It's not picturing very well on camera at all. It's almost like lava orange for what you've got for launch colour on the Gen 1 GT3 RS. Now this particular car is the Cayenne Turbo, so it's, I think it might be the Range Topper, you know. Oh, look at that interior in there. Awesome thing. It doesn't feel too big, you know. I mean, yes, it's still quite high off the ground, but lengthwise, I think it's to do with that angle towards the back. Just makes it look a bit more squish, which I like. Love those wheels as well. Actually quite reminiscent of the ones that you get on the 718 GT4 that's just been released. Love that. Anyway, moving along to the other side, we've got a few Bentleys over here. We have the brand new Flying Spur with what seems to be the new trend nowadays of having massive grills. Let's have a look. Look at that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lovely looking car, and I can imagine it's a brilliant car to be driven in. Yeah, that grill is girthy. Multi-spoke wheels in diamond cut as well. Look at the attention to detail on this thing, the crystal in the headlights as well. That is stunning. Moving along quickly as well, we have the Bentayga Speed, which is basically the speedier version of the standard Bentayga. Now, I'll be honest, the Bentayga is a bit of a brute. Now, this thing has a 6-litre W12 mounted up front, upwards of 600 brake horsepower. I'll talk about 190 miles an hour, which is crazy. Now, the name Speed for Bentley's kind of quicker and more hardcore products has been around for quite a while. It's nice to see one of the Bentayga with that lip spoiler towards the back as well. Slightly more aggressive diffuser, bigger exhaust pipes, so forth. And actually, when the Bentayga, the standard one, was revealed in 2016, it was officially the world's fastest SUV until this was released. But funnily enough, they're playing a bit of a fastest SUV tennis here because the Bentley Speed is now taking that crown back, which is quite amusing. Now, Lamborghini Urus, you guys know that I've been spending quite a little bit of time with this. Well, not this specific car, but around the Urus this weekend. Of course, I drove one up the Goodwood Hill Climb in a video that went live not too long ago. 641 brake horsepower, twin turbocharged V8 in this thing, absolute brute. 2.2 tons yet. It goes like stink, and I can confirm that definitely, for sure. Now this car, I believe, don't quote me on it, was the car which I had, well, it was the first time I saw an Urus, was this car in Lamborghini Pangborn. And a friend of mine, Craig, the sales manager down there, invited me down there to go check it out. It might be a different car, but just in the same spec. But yeah, it looks absolutely lovely. Now this one doesn't have all of the carbon fibre like the other one did. So you've got no carbon fibre rear splitter, you've got a body coloured spoiler instead of carbon, and a body coloured wheel arch liners and side skirt as well, but it does look gorgeous in this colour. Anyway, moving along, we have the new Toyota GR Supra. Now this car, I'll be honest, had some huge boots to fill, obviously, with the likes of previous generations of the Supra. So I think definitely from the get-go, everyone was going to be a little bit iffy about it. Now this one is, albeit very similar to the brand new BMW Z4, it's almost been a little bit of a collaboration between Toyota and BMW, but having seen one, in fact, having seen probably about 5 at this weekend's Festival of Speed, I quite like them, you know. The proportions and shapes of it is really rather nice. Now I'm yet to see one of the A90 editions, obviously the 1 of 90 special version of the new Supra, which is finished in like a slate grey, a satin grey colour with a red interior. This one finished in what I believe is the launch colour, looks stunning. Yeah, it's good to see it up close and personal for the first time. Now having seen various videos of this car, I do see what they mean about the fake vents, but to be honest, this car obviously sharing the B58 engine that the likes of the BMW M140i had. It's a very tunable engine, so I think for potential owners this thing is a tuner's paradise. And well, to be fair, there's a 2JZ swapped drift car of the new Supra here already, so that people are definitely planning big things for these. But yeah, it's got a lot of potential, that car, that is for sure. We then have the RCF Track edition. This thing has been doing a fair few very smoky burnouts this weekend. Absolute brute. Look at the carbon bonnet on this thing. You know what, I'm a big fan of carbon bonnets, whether they're exposed or painted, but they look really cool. This thing actually looks proper. I'm loving these wheels. Look at those, satin black, nice big carbon wing at the back as well. I'm a big fan of the RCF. I just love the shape and proportions of them. Never really experienced one at all, but yeah, cool little thing. It'd be good to see one of these out on the road. I imagine they're going to be quite rare, this one being the Track edition. Yeah, that does look hella menacing from the front. Now, something which is over this way, which is of course the kind of subject of this whole video, the brand new A45S. It was revealed yesterday. Unfortunately, I was busy filming some other videos at the time, so I didn't see the actual release. But this particular car is the kind of spy car, the pre-prototype. So this is kind of, at one point, this was the only A45S in the world. So I thought I'd show you this one first, because look at the wrap on it. I mean, you can tell that it's a pre-prototype because, I mean, the wrap, it's not meant to look good. I mean, nothing really, actually that one lines up to be fair, but none of this really lines up. It's not really full HD in that. You can see the kind of pixels in there as well, but it's just so cool. It'd be really cool one day if a customer actually kind of replicates this into their car. But anyway, let's speak a little bit more about this. So, brand new A45S. Now what we're looking at here is a 400 bhp plus hot hatch. Now this thing puts out a total power output of 415 brake horsepower stock. So bearing in mind, if you do a stage 1 tune or maybe even a stage 2, you're looking at 500 to 550 brake, which is absurd. Now we've got a fairly familiar 2-litre turbo engine, obviously one which I have in my Golf R at the moment and in the previous A45 models. Now the previous A45, just to compare it to this, pushes 382 brake, with this one being the A45S. We've hit over that 400 brake marker. Now 0 to 60 takes just shy of 4 seconds, 3.9 seconds to 60. So we're into the threes, which is again absurd. This thing looks like an absolute weapon, especially in this livery. How cool does this look? Now, speaking a little bit more about this specific car, we've got the 19-inch Y-spoke satin black wheels, which actually I think are pretty much the same as the ones you find on the E63S, which instantly, for my eyes, makes it seem like a brute. You know, like when I look at a car, I look at the wheels first, or maybe second, after the exhaust, shall we say. And I don't know, these just suit this car so well. Sat on some Michelin tyres at the moment. Got those big old red brake calipers behind it, but 415 brake on this thing. Absolutely nuts. Now obviously we've got all the clever tech in there, which I'll be able to show you a little bit later on. But one thing I do want to touch on very quickly is the fact that this thing has a drift mode. So you can have race, dynamic, sport, comfort, and then drift when you want to have a little bit of fun. So the rear axles have got some torque vectoring fancy goodness which allows that. But how cool is that? I mean, Mercedes have absolutely smashed this. And I think a definite topic for me and my bank manager is whether I should buy one or not, because looking at it here, I mean, with the Panamericana grille out front, obviously famous for being at the front of all AMG models, and it's great to see that here. I mean, just look at that, it just looks so menacing. We've got the daytime running lights which kind of swoop up there, aggressive grills and intercooler for cooling for the engine there, and just that Panamericana grille, stunning. So yeah, what do you guys think? Should an A45S replace the Golf R? Now I understand it'd be a massive upgrade. I mean, this thing from brand new specking, you're looking at about 50 grand, which is a lot out of my budget. But I mean, I'm in love. If money was no object, then this would be ordered very quick. But I understand that we can't really see much about this car because it's all covered in this prototype snazziness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my fingers and we're going to head over to the Mercedes stand, where the one which was actually revealed, so we can take a look at that. How does that sound? Let's do it. Okay then, look at this. So this is the exact car which was revealed a couple of days ago here at the Festival of Speed. Finished in, I don't think it's solely been yellow, but it's a very similar colour. Looks stunning. I always think that AMGs look awesome in brightly coloured, brightly coloured colours really. But there we go. So let's have a little wander around this now that we can actually properly see the car. Now this one has slightly different wheels. I presume that these aren't the upgrade wheels. Looks to be a new design really. Still finished in satin black. We've still got those nice big brakes behind. We've got some canards up front. So that's a very typical A45 kind of touch. We've got the stripe down the side, which I presume is going to be an option. And actually, if we come around to the back, I'll kind of tell you what I think of it really. I think from the back, it seems very reminiscent of the A35, obviously dialed up to 11 of course, but starting to make a little bit more curve towards the back. Also we have that lovely fixed rear wing. This one has the aero kit, of course, a must for me if I was to end up buying one of these. I mean, they just look so cool. We get the rear wing, we have a more aggressive diffuser. Obviously we've got 4 exhaust tips on this rather than just the 2, one on either side on the A35. You also get a few little slats there and some canards on the front as well. But yeah, what do we all think of this then? I love it in yellow. I'm not sure the other colour options you get, but yeah, this is cool. I like the yellow with the red brake calipers as well. Now the interior of this thing, well, if you guys watch my A35 video very recently, you'll know that I fell in love with the interior. Now look at this. Now we've got yellow stitching, yellow 12 o'clock marker, yellow details on the dash as well, and then yellow stripes in the seats. I just love what Mercedes are doing with the interiors of these things. It just looks so premium. Obviously it is quite similar to the A35, but again, just dialed up to 11 really. Got an Alcantara steering wheel, lots of piano black touches, and lots of other Alcantara and leather here and there, but stunning interior. Get a quick glance at that. We've got that huge 10-inch display. And obviously we have the kind of rev counter there, and on the other side you have your multimedia. But one other thing, I love these vents as well. They look very, very cool. Yellow stitching here and there as well. But yeah, stunning interior. Now this, to me, is, well, it's very nice actually. Very, very nice. Anyway, there we go. Now, a few more little details about this car. Now, normally with, oh, I didn't close the door properly. Here we go. So this thing is electronically limited to 174 miles an hour, which is pretty ridiculous. Like I said earlier on in the video, we've got some pretty impressive power stats. Over 400 brake horsepower, but with the A45, well, the A45S, sorry, shall I say, you've got quite a lot of clever tech in the chassis. So there's kind of reinforced sections, bits and bobs, obviously the drift system with the torque vectoring and things like that. But that does mean that it is quite a heavy car. I think it's over 1,600 kilos, which is quite heavy. But still, with all the drift modes and different driving modes that you've got, I imagine it's going to be pretty nimble to say the least, and especially the 0 to 60 time of 3.9 seconds is nothing to be laughing about at all. But there we go, A45S. First time I've seen it here, revealed the other day, and I am in love, but not so much at the price tag, or the sort of expected price tag, should I say. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. I think for now, let's have a little wander around the rest of the stand here, because we have some other pretty cool cars, especially this one over here, the AMG GTR Pro. Now this thing's been going up the hill climb, burning some rubber during this weekend. But yeah, look at this. One of a couple here at the show. I love the slate grey with the green details. Look at these louvres on the top here. Absolutely incredible. Look at those canards as well. They are huge. Wandering around towards the front. One other thing which I love about this, and it just really sets it off for me, is these little supports for the front splitter here. Proper, it makes it look like it's modified, you know, when you put a massive front splitter on your car, and that's kind of what you do. But that from factory looks stunning. Once again with the Panamericana grille, like the A45S now has. Oh, it's going to focus. Come on, this is going to be a good shot. There we go. It does look good from the front. I think it is kind of like a mini E63S for me, that A45, which is very cool. And hopefully we'll be able to experience one once the customer cars are out and about. One other car I want to feature though is this, the AMG 4-door. I love this thing. But for me, the only kind of, I don't know, how do I say this? The only option which I would buy is to have it fully spec'd, and that is with the full carbon fixed rear wing. Obviously this is an active wing which kind of comes down, but these wheels, look at those. Look at those. We've got a frozen blue finish on it as well. Stunning colour and an absolute brute of a car. But anyway, lovely selection of cars here, and especially that one over there. There we go then, that is going to wrap up another video from this year's Festival of Speed. I'm back now at one of the campsites where I'm staying for this weekend, which is right next to the motor circuit. We can hear some stuff flying around there, which is good. Oh, doors is closed, it's a bit windy actually. Anyway, been great to kind of have a slightly more chilled day today, really kind of looking around some of the stands, especially to have a look at the new A45S. I'm a big fan of that, and remember to let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments down below. But yeah, that's going to round up today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come.